Hello, welcome to Nightline with me, Alia Zaidi. Today headline, Malaysia Weekly Bond Market Report. Danium Capital Berhad issue 1.5 billion Islamic medium-term loan bond. Danium Capital Berhad issues 7-year Islamic medium-term loans bond carries a profit of 4.3%. Danium Capital Corporation issue bond for several reasons.
To provide corporation with a way to raise capital without diluting the current shareholders' equity. Can often borrow at a lower interest rate than the rate available in bank. By issuing bonds directly to the investor, Danium Capital Berhad can eliminate the bank as middleman in the transaction. Without the intermediaries, the borrowing process becomes more efficient and less expensive. Can often borrow money for a fixed rate for a longer term than it could at a bank. Most banks will not make fixed rate loan for longer than 5 years because they fear losing money if their cost of fund rises to a higher rate than long-term loans. The bond market offers a very efficient way to borrow capital. By issuing bonds, the borrower is spared the task of undergoing numerous separate negotiations and transactions in order to raise the capital it needs.
There are currently 2 rating agencies in Malaysia that are approved by Security Commission Malaysia, which is RAM Rating Service Berhad and Malaysia Rating Corporation Berhad (MARC). Corporate bond can be rated by credit rating agency like RAM to testify the issuer's ability to pay the coupon semi-annually and return the principal to the investor at maturity. RAM will rate the bond based on issuer probability of default and their capabilities to pay the expected payment to investor based on this rating type.
Bond with a rating above A is considered safe investment with a low probability of default, and the issuers have a strong financial capacity to return the principal at maturity.
Rating can be assigned to short-term and long-term debt obligation as well as securities loans, preferred stocks, and insurance companies. Long-term credit rating tend to be more indicative of country investments surrounding and/or a company's ability to honor its debt responsibilities. Danium Capital Berhad issue an intermediate sukuk bond with 7 years issue tenor. Agency rating are used by banks to determine the risk premium to be charged on loans and bonds. Poor credit rating show that the higher risk premium and higher interest rate, while good credit rating is a lower risk premium and lower interest rate, which is easier to borrow money from public debt market or financial institutions. We can see that Danium Sukuk are rated as a AAA with stable outlook by RAM's ratings. Why did RAM rated Danium Sukuk as AAA? We will bring you live from Rating Agency Malaysia. Hello? Aisha, are you there?
Hi, with me, Aisha. Today, before we go into deep with this rating agency, let me explain you about the Danium Sukuk and why they're related to the Khazanah company.
Danum was incorporated as the Islamic financing conduit of Khazanah Nasional Berhad, the Government of Malaysia investment arm. Danum will raise fund under the Islamic principle of Wakalah bi al-Istiqmar and or other Islamic principle to be determined. Danum Capital Berhad is an issuer of Danum Sukuk. Sukuk holder purchase the sukuk and pay the proceed to the issuer, which declare a trust over the proceed and the wakalah asset. CIMB, as a sukuk trustee, appoint Danum Capital Berhad, the issuer, as agent to invest the proceed of sukuk issuance in a pool or portfolio of wakalah asset pursuant to wakalah agency agreement. Danum Capital Berhad, in turn, appoint a sub-wakil, which is Khazanah, to invest the sukuk proceed into an investment portfolio selected in accordance with specific criteria. Khazanah, who act as investment wakil, is responsible for maintaining the underlying asset and replenishing the portfolio with additional underlying asset from time to time. Khazanah collect income generated from the Wakalah asset. The return on the Wakalah asset are used to fund the periodic profit distribution. Khazanah, the obligor, will exercise the purchase undertaking it has granted to the Sukuk trustee upon the scheduled maturity of the Sukuk, or following the occurrence of dissolution event and the issuer will sell its rights, benefit, and entitlement in the Wakalah asset to the obligor. Sukuk trustee, which is CIMB, pay the dissolution amount to the Sukuk holder using the exercise price received from the obligor. Upon the full payment to the Sukuk holder, the Sukuk will be cancelled.
Okay, now you guys understand. Let's follow me. Hi, Miss Shafina.
Yes.
Can you give the opinion why RAM, which is Rating Agency Malaysia, rate Danam Sukuk as a AAA?
Okay, so first of all, RAM actually considers Khazanah as an extension of the government of Malaysia. Like the likelihood of government support is deemed unquestionable. So which means that the government actually supports the bond. So which means that the bond is very unlikely to default. So secondly, the expectation of the solid systematic support is based on Khazanah's substantial stake in the key national sector that are the strategic to the Malaysian economy is deemed very strong, and also Khazanah is linked with the owner, which is the government of Malaysia, which is unlikely to dilute its ownership, which means that the fact that the Prime Minister, which is our Tun Mahathir, is the chairman of the board, and Khazanah's key role in Malaysia Economic Transformation Plan makes that the bond is actually very strong. So next thing is RAM, our rating agency Malaysia also ensures that actually Khazanah will sell the assets to generate more money as well as new funds to Khazanah to reinvest those assets into another portfolio which will be profitable, and thus actually will lower Khazanah's debt. And the next thing is we're going to look at Khazanah's debt. RAM actually already clarifies that Khazanah's goal to actually lower the debt to 40 billion is expected to be achieved by this year, and we actually sees that goal as an very achievable goal because Khazanah has able to recover the profitability and to increase the profit by 5 billion this year. When we see Malaysian economy mostly look like a developing economies, and we RAM actually believe that the debt raised by using this sukuk can be profitable to the company as the company is very unlikely to default.
They are targeting 3.5 times for asset to debt ratio, but currently Khazanah ratio is 2 times. This will provide more sustainable balance sheet for Khazanah in the long run, and the debt will soundly manage to support its asset and equity, so the debtor will pay the debt on time. In the end, Khazanah will be able to pay the sukuk holder coupon rate.
Okay, what the conclusion?
So we RAM as the credit rating agency believe that
The Danam Sukuk is a AAA bond.
As an investor, do you agree with the RAM agency rating for the Danam Sukuk bond?
I disagree with that rated. As we analysed from the Khazanah annual report in 2018, they suffered a really big loss, which is 6.27 billion. Compared to 2018, they earned a profit as 2.89 billion. There are few factors why they didn't earn any profit this last year is because the first one is due to global uncertainty that came from geopolitical tension and pessimistic growth from emerging markets. And the second one is domestic development such as depression of earnings outlook, market volatility and regulatory changes. The third one is the fewer divestment from a few projects that made the dividend income decreases, and also higher impairments. The fourth one was changes of party of board directors. The Prime Minister appoint from China as their board of director members compared to the locals one. This one made the local board of directors feeling unhappy with the decision, because there's also a implementation of government policies particularly in telecommunication sector, which impacted several companies owned by Khazanah. The fifth one would be the high investment risk in a handful companies are among the reasons why Khazanah Nasional Berhad incurred pre-tax losses. And the next one, we can also look at the financial performance of Khazanah. So their focuses on two types of ratios, which is the net worth adjusted, which is to know the value of the company. So from the reported news, Khazanah net worth adjusted decreases from 116 billion to 91 billion last year. And the second financial ratios would be realizable asset value, is the value of an asset that can be realized upon the sale of the asset, less a reasonable estimate of the cost associated with the eventual sale or disposal of the asset. The RAV dropped from 157 billion in 2017 to 136 billion in 2018. So from this ratio, it is proven that in 2018 that Khazanah didn't do well. And as an investor, I don't think that Danium deserves the AAA bond rating, as it can make losses for the future investors.
So based on my perspective as an investor, I think that by looking at Khazanah annual report in 2018, Khazanah was not in a good shape. However, they have started their new investment strategy to expand and to diversify its investment. Khazanah has actually quadrupled its foreign investment to around 60 to 70% of its total portfolio over the next decade and beyond to reduce their exposure to domestic risk. Khazanah has also taken some steps on reducing its operating costs, as the previous investment strategy had a too high risk investment since around 80 to 85%, and it was focused on just 9 to 10 companies. The fund is also working on cutting its operating cost by 30% to 40% over the next few years. And earlier this year, Khazanah has managed to reduce its debt from 55 billion to 47 billion in 1 year through the asset and sales and investment of sales. The profitability would be driven by returns from deals done last year or this year, including through initial public offerings of mobile software firm Phoneware and fashion retailer Farfetch. They has also managed to generate 9 billion in revenue during the same period and is expected to recover and able to generate 5 billion in potential revenue this year. Also said that the process of selling assets was also seen as it being able to restructure existing assets to be more sustainable and low risk.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. Next, all students get A's in